Right, good evening everybody. We're with Paul. What's up? I'm Daniel from TRANCE4M.
And I'm Rhoma from HEXED Asia.
Today we have a couple of questions to ask you more about your journey as an artist, your personal life, and also a little bit about your album stuff. Paul looks really tired. He just came from two shows.
Back-to-back shows.
Two back-to-back
KL,
shows.
Myanmar, and now Singapore.
Yeah, so we're really happy that he's actually in Singapore for his last leg of this Asia tour. Yeah. So should I start with the first question, Roma?
Yes, go ahead.
Cool. So Paul, you have worked with so many people across the years, especially with a film score recently. What is the one networking mindset or approach that truly made a difference for you, especially in the early days?
That's a great question for your reference.
Just for networking. It's hard, you know. When you first start, no one really wants to give you a chance.
Yep.
So but like as you get better, and you have to kind of just through emails and then meeting, obviously going to shows and chatting to DJs and all maybe, and then giving them a USB full of your music. Obviously getting on the bigger labels was a struggle. I think it's a struggle for everybody. At first, but the longer you do it, the better you get, and then obviously DJs take notice. Then you obviously become friends with the Savali Afila, John O'Callaghan, become good friends with them just by sending them music. And when I first sent it, they never signed. You know?
They never signed.
That's always the case.
But this is what happens. But you see, like with John, he would always tell me, yes, it's getting better. Keep working on it.
That's nice of him, actually.
Of course, John is a very good boy, man. Yeah, and he's helped me. And same with Fadi, they've helped me a lot from my career.
Right. So this film score, right? Meaning you like cross over between industry. So what made you make that move in the first place?
It actually just fell on my lap. Myself and Ali just got an email one day saying that the film company wanted to.
So someone just picked.
I didn't send it to him. No. Armada actually pitched the track. And we just got an email said yes.
So it just happened like
just
out of
happened,
nowhere.
Yeah, I just got an email one day saying Hollywood wants you.
Some of the tracks have that cinematic feels to it. Do you think that's one of the encouragement that got you this film score?
I think so. Well, obviously it wasn't down to me to send the track.
See guys, cinematic feeling. That's trance is all about.
And it was just pure look. It was just pure look as well, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, second.
Alright, so the next question I have for you, Paul, is every artist struggles to define their sound, right? I think it's a very common thing. And but the moment you realize, what was the moment that you actually realized that, oh, this is my style, this is my signature Paul Denton style, you know, this is who I am. And how can younger producers start finding their own identity without forcing it?
Especially the transition before the Retrospekt album.
I don't think I have one style really, you know, because I like to be very varied. I think I make tech trance, soul trance, uplifting trance. So to me, I don't really have a sound. I think my sound is kind of broad spectrum of everything trance, you know. But again, it's just getting in the studio, working hard, learning your tools, learning everything that you can. You know, obviously I use Cubase, so when I first started Cubase, it took me like 6 months just to even import the audio into the track. So it's just working on it like 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day.
That's when you like make your own sound.
Yeah,
and
of course. And
the same stuff.
It's absolutely nothing happens overnight. You know, I'm producing 7.
Is it like depend on your mood at that time, or you follow what's on the market demand?
It's easy to follow what's on demand, you know. So I don't really. I try and stay away from that. So as I say, like I have a lot of different kind of aliases, but there's not one. You can't nail Paul down to one genre, you know. So I have tech trance, I have uplifting trance. But I've always tried to do this so I stand out, so I'm different. Instead of just maybe making all uplifting, I'd rather be different than everybody else. And I think that stands out as well. It makes you different, you know. You need to stand out from the crowd these days. Because if you're making, say, tracks for a particular label, you're not going to stand out, you know. If you want to pigeonhole yourself onto a certain label, you need to have different styles.
Or you need to be really, really good, and the label boss got to really like you, right? To keep signing you.
Well, I don't think they don't necessarily have to like you. Your music just has to be good, you know. I'm sure some label owners don't like me, but they like my music. Okay. But it's just putting hard work in, you know. Nothing comes easy, especially in the music business. you have to put a lot of work in. But I'm a believer that if you put the work in, if you put the hard work in, it will happen for you. You know, it just takes time. It didn't happen overnight for me. I'm producing 17 years. You know, it took me maybe 10 years to get where I was at a stage where I was happy with my music. I'm still not happy with my music. You know, I'm a perfectionist. So,
that's the imposter syndrome for the artist.
But it happens to everyone. You know, you're never happy. You're never happy with your music. You know, and even when your track is only finished when you abandon it. You know. It was worse from David Forbes. He told me that you know, you could keep tweaking a track and all, and it's never going to be finished. You're never going to be 100% happy with a track. So it's only finished when you call it a day, you know.
And then there will be like a 2025 rework. Okay, so the next question. Choosing the right label is a big decision, right, for new producers, like even yourself when you first started out.
Of course.
So, what signs should like artists look for when deciding a label truly fits them, and whether it's like their long-term direction, like just an advice?
Well, I think when you're starting out, you should know what direction, because this is what took me so long. I think I didn't have a direction, you know. I just made whatever, you know. And then when I got focused in, and like I said, I wanted to be on Subculture, on FSOE, you kind of have to make stuff that, so you listen to John's sets, or listen to Faddy's sets, and I would see what they're playing in the live sets and say, well, I'll make something similar to that style. I'll put my own twist on it. Because if they're not playing it in the DJ sets, they're not going to sign it to the label, you know.
Right. Yes.
So you need to kind of be smart and think about what they play in the sets. This is the way I thought about it.
Yeah,
it worked for me, so yeah. And now then I can kind of be maybe a little bit more out there with my tracks and send them to FSOE or Subculture.
Okay, I have a follow-up question. I personally think that Future Sound of Egypt is the leading label at the moment regarding to trance.
Massive,
So is that the reason why you focus on FSOE?
Well, I always liked FSOE as a label, you know. I liked the music they put out. I think my style did kind of really suit the label, you know. I think I've had 60 releases on FSOE and Stoneface and Terminal's label. I think I'm the second selling artist on Beatport after Ali and Fida, you know. So it's suited my style, definitely, you know. It's same with Subculture, that high tempo, uplifting trance, high tempo tech trance.
So it's a bit personal as well to choose FSOE.
And Subculture, I think they're my two favourite labels, you know. So they were the go-to labels when I started. Like they were the one I wanted to be on, definitely.
Right. So the next question, you know, when we do things right, is we always put community first. So you've been in the scene for almost 2 decades, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the next question is.
I'm getting old.
Right. So let's say tomorrow, if you wake up, you're one of the top 10 DJs in the world, right?
That's loads of money.
And all the fans have gotten you this far, right?
Sorry.
How would you give back to the community?
And lift more rising talents.
Correct.
It's just helping rising talents out, you know. Like, and you see, as I said before, with John and Faddy, you know, if you're putting good material out, they will sign your tracks and they'll give you a push, you know. Like, they put me on FSOE shows, they put me on Subculture shows. And if you're supporting them, they will. It's the same if I was them. If I was getting tracks from people and I was setting my label up, I would help the rising producers by giving them gigs, by pushing them on social media and all.
I wanna touch on this point also, like. I think you're quite close with Will, right? Will Reese.
Yes, me and Will are very good friends.
I noticed like most of your sets, like you would play his tracks as well. Like,
I think there's a few artists. So it's like
so he doesn't feel bad.
No, there's a few artists I always play. So like Schneider, I think Dave Forbes. I think we all have kind of similar
pushing each other as well.
Yeah, of course, but we all have similar. Like, they work. The tracks work in each other's set because like Schneider plays a lot of my tracks, David plays a lot of my tracks. So we all kind of just again, there's 3 guys I'm really good friends with, you know.
Yeah. Okay, and anything you want to add regarding community? Okay, and our last question for this interview, right? Since EDM is trending nowadays, especially after COVID, and everything is just like changed all over the world, even the landscape of EDM has been changing a lot. What keeps you grounded?
My family, my kids, you know, that's what I kind of do for them these days, you know. Before I had kids, it was just for me personally, but now I have to bring home money to feed the lads, you know. But again, it's just my love for trance as well, you know. I've been listening to trance 26 years now, since 1999, and I love it just as much now as I did back then, you know. And that's what keeps me grounded, man. It's just about pushing the scene, pushing the trance scene forward, and
This might hurt some of the audience's feeling out there. People keep saying that HEXED is a state of techno nowadays, right? Okay, so how can you continue to inspire artists to ensure them that they stay grounded? What kind of motivation that you think for artists to start?
You just have to put the hard work in. There's no formula to it. It's basically hard work. You can't just click overnight and become a big artist, unless you have maybe millions of dollars to throw into it. But everyone I know that has done really well, they've put the work in. They've done long hours in the studio. There's no substitute.
Daniel, you as a DJ, what keeps you grounded?
What keeps me grounded?
Or your motivation?
I think for me it's the community.
Yeah.
That's one, and also like I'm generally like a visionary as well. I like to hopefully inspire and spread like this underground sound out, right? So like I think especially for like, so I agree a lot with Paul's point. I think when I plan for my sets, I don't really listen to release radars.
Yeah.
I usually listen to sets as well, because I think that's what works, right?
Of course, man.
That's what kind of tracks
You know it works on dance floors then.
But I think like because I'm more of a DJ, right? Paul's more of an artist, like, so I think for me it's like I want to play something that you don't know.
Yes,
but I
that's
also want
the
to play
whole
something
point
that you
of
like.
sharing new music, right?
But that's the tough thing, like
It is.
These days it is, man. Years ago you would get away playing a whole set of new music. Like myself and Will Reese, we recently played the debut of Parallel Worlds.
Yep.
And it was a set of whole new music. So like, before we played, the two of us were really nervous because we didn't know how it would react.
But was the reaction good?
It was unreal. Yeah, it was the best reaction probably of sets I've ever done.
And like that's the best feeling you get as well.
Yeah,
as
of
an
course,
artist,
man. And like, I knew these tracks were really good, but again, you don't know until you test them on a live stream.
I agree.
So you had this 6 hours set in KL just recently, right? Did you play a lot of new songs? Or
Not really, no. I'd never played in KL before, so I didn't know what way the crowd was working. So yeah, it was a lot of my own stuff. Then the last couple of hours was like a lot of classics.
A lot of your own style and everything.
A lot of my own style, obviously a lot of Will Reese's, a lot of Schneider, Dave Forbes. But we played some new music, but as I said, with the album I haven't really been busy in the studio, so I've been mostly focused on the Will Reese stuff, so I hadn't really got a whole lot of ideas to play. I did play some new music, but it was like 6 hours, so it was like, it was nearly 100 tracks I played. It was just a bit of everything.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it was an amazing set. It was good to play like, for 6 hours.
Can I ask one last question?
Please.
Okay, so one last question to wrap up the interview. Okay, so like
one last question.
Okay, so Paul, I guess you see yourself as an artist, right? Like make music, you tour and show music and everything. But I think like with the rising need for everyone to be digitally inclined, right? Like you gotta make content, you gotta do these things. Like, how do you manage that? Yeah, I know a lot of artists say that. Right? So how do you manage
DJ
that?
is doing the whole
branding is important,
You
right?
have to force yourself to do it, I used to making videos and all that.
So you have like a camera in your studio, just standing there.
I hate it. It takes me like half an hour just to get like 15-second video done.
Because a lot of people
I could spend that time in the studio.
Yeah, because a lot of people complain that DJs shouldn't do the marketing, but you guys know what actually is the whole package that makes you as an artist.
Social media these days is probably bigger than your music. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. That's the way the scene has gone.
Right.
That's why I do feel a bit sad for like some of the older artists, right? Like they're into like their 50s, some close to their 60s. They used to be like the OG artists in the scene, but I think they fade out. It's not because their music is not good. I think it's just
social media.
Yeah, they just don't know how to like be relevant, right?
Some people are great on social media, and myself, I'm a shy person, so I don't like posting videos of myself. I hate it.
Thank you for.
Do you think every DJ should have a manager?
Definitely, a manager just takes the pressure off.
Yep.
I have Barry, my brother, so Barry does. He takes a Barry, especially with the album. He took a lot of pressure off me that we could just focus on making music, and he looked after everything else, So
Okay.
Thank you, Barry.
Last but not least, your message to Singapore audience.
Yeah, same.
For the third time.
Always.
Time this week.
Yeah, it's always a good time to play in Singapore, man. I love coming back here. So I'm really looking forward to tonight. It's going to be a good show. Lots of new album stuff to play for you.
See you all. Be transformed with trance.
See you soon. Take care, boy.